Good evening, folks, and welcome to FMA Discussion. This is episode 443, and tonight is more theme-oriented. We're going to be looking and going over creating your own system. Why would you do such a thing? Well, we're going to find out, and I'm going to chip in there and here where I can based on just creating my own system. Well, it was always around. I just never put it public, I should say. But I did so last spring, and I was happy I did it. And we're going to hear about these folks, see if they initial, what they got as far as feedback when they made the big leap of faith, what inspired them to do it. So if you have questions, please put them in the comment section. I will definitely get to them. And if you're watching, tell us where you're watching from and smash that like button. I hope if some of you guys are on the fence and watching this, I hope it gives you kind of a sense of a direction what to do. And hopefully these guys will give you some of that. But without further ado, Dog Brother, Chili Dog, Badger, up somewhere in Canada, I don't know, in the woods or something. And Errol, Jersey City, or some place where he's living. But without further ado, here we go. Hey, guys.
Hey there.
What's going on? My man's in Jersey City.
Yeah.
Reporting
from
from
the intro. So, again, definitely got some questions in, and hopefully folks that are watching this, they get a better sense of what it's like to create your own system, the pros, the cons. If you guys had to do some problem solving or what have you, but we'll get to that. So I'm going to piggyback back and forth with the questions so each person gets kind of a first crack. So this is kind of a question that Lewis had, Tom had, and I had. And basically, for each one of you, what was the initial inspiration which cultivated the idea at first with you guys? Who wants to go first?
Go ahead, Badger.
Okay.
It's on you. Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to play FMA rock, paper, scissors. It's knife, and knife. Anyway. Anyway, yeah. So for me, it was. There's that trend in Filipino martial arts that it seems like every generation gives a new name to things. Like Remy Presas learned Balintuak, and then he developed modern arnis, and then his disciples, a lot of them have come up with different names, and then so I learned off of 2 or 3 generations down from Remy. My guru, Pete Coates. So he kept changing the name. Like, I think when he finally did say, "You're an Arnis instructor," I think at that point he was calling it Arnis Kali Ithaca, AKI.
Okay.
So, I think that's what I got ranked in. Maybe, I don't know. And at a certain point, I was kind of decided that what I was doing, so what Pete was doing was far enough away from modern Arnis that he needed to change the name. And what I was doing was far enough away from what Pete taught me that I needed to change the name. So I came up with the name. Kind of that was the genesis of coming up with a name for it. But I had also a lot of the ideas that had been percolating for a while that made what I was doing distinctly different from what my predecessors did. Far enough away that it did deserve a different name. It's like evolution. At a certain point, this creature is far enough away from its ancestors that we're going to give it a different name because it ain't the same thing.
Yeah, far removed, sure, okay.
Yeah. So that's at least the genesis of the name for me. That part of it, the actual stating this is a thing.
Yeah, right. Okay, before you actually put in some content and what you
the content, other way around. The content came first, which drifted far enough away, and then it's like, okay, it's time to give the content a name.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Okay. And I'm going to get to the particulars in the content, some questions down. So PG Errol, same question.
So with my system, I've been training since I was a kid, but we really never had a name for it. It was just, moving from the Philippines to here, it was just taught to you by family. Just whatever it was. And then about 20 plus years ago, my wife introduced me to the system that I was training in at that time. And I would say about like maybe the first 10 years, it was okay. It was good, I would have to say. You know, I give credit to them for giving me a good curriculum, because I never studied a curriculum. It was, you know, just backyard shit that we did. But you know, it opened my eyes. The system that I was in, they had many other systems underneath them. But you know, I started seeing a lot of things that I'm going to have to say it. I'll say it out loud. You know, in the FMA, there was a lot of drills, too many drills, where, in honesty, it just didn't work for me. I don't know about anybody else, but for me,
no, I
it
went
didn't
through
work.
the same thing, overcodified, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it was just, you know, it was too fancy. And then, you know, there was one time I asked one of the instructors, why are we doing this? And when I came from a real rough background. So, you know, and a lot of my friends are military or law enforcement. And I would say that's not going to work for, you know, how we teach. But because it was so specified on how everything was being taught, it's like, you got to teach it like this. You have to teach it like this. You know, really pushing it on. You have to teach it like this. You could believe it in so many ways, and you could even brainwash yourself into it too, you know. But after a while, you know, I've seen too many instructors showing too much shit, and it didn't work for me. I'm not going to say anybody else, but for me, it didn't work. You know, getting jumped, being attacked. You know, there's a lot of shit that doesn't work. And I'm just like, you can't teach it like that. I didn't say it like that, but I said, you know, how are we supposed to teach this? Because just in any other martial arts, I'm going to have to say even MMA, you know, the way I teach it, it's mainly for the streets. And I'm not going to say, you know, like every martial arts instructor out there, we do this for the streets. But I had to pull away because it became a little too much politic bullshit. You can't do this. You can't hang out with so-and-so, when a lot of my friends were from different systems. And the system that I came from, they came from different systems. But I guess after a while, I would have to say, even to my guys, hey, listen, when you hit a certain point where, you know, you just have to move on. I'm not going to hate you. Just don't show any disrespect. But I would never stop anybody from growing in the martial arts.
Yeah, right. Student. Yeah, I believe student is the most important piece, right? And
I really think that, you know, when it comes down to it, first, my first group, it was called FMA Fighters. And I used that as a business because I couldn't use, just like, again, any other martial arts out there. There's so many people under Pakiti Tercia, under Modern Arnis, and they carry different names. And I'll be honest with you, and I do see some changes in everybody's system. And as much as they don't want to say it's not a system, what they're teaching, they break away. So don't tell me it's not, you know, it's purely that system that you're teaching, because it's not. And, you know, so to me, I had the company name. And then after a while, I said, you know what? After it broke away, I was just like, no, you know, I have a wrestling background. I was in the gang banging scene for such a long time. You know, I dabbled with other people. You know, if they kicked my ass on the mat, it made me realize, how can I make this better? You know, and I would allow it too. Yo, this guy kicked my ass, so let me fight my fight. I don't want to fight his fight. Let's see who comes out the best. And again, it's nothing machismo. It's more of, I want to see what I could do out there. So when I broke away, and again, there's a lot of people out there in the FMA community probably don't like me for what I did, but to be honest with you, I don't care. It's from,
you can't be concerned with, believe me. I mean, just ask me from FMA discussion. You try to make everybody happy, man. You'll drive yourself nuts.
Oh wait, hold on, Tom. Yeah, that was the first system. Yeah, that I started with.
Yeah. Okay. We do got a couple questions that have already come in. So, all right, let's. Morgan Garrett. Is it named differently because the art has changed so drastically from its root? Or is it a situation whereas the method of teaching changed, So each individual taught it under a different name for that reason. Bad, you want to take a crack at it?
Yeah, sure. I think the modern convention of giving styles names is just that. It's a modern thing. Like I was talking with, so I have a background in Chinese martial arts as well, and I was with a group of friends who were all Chinese martial arts exponents in their own right. And we were talking about this that 1920s is when you started having people actually saying this is called this style. Previous to that, it wasn't really a thing. The tradition might have been going on for a couple hundred years, even, but there was no need to give a name. I mean, Errol was talking about that, like, he learned from this guy, learned from that guy. What, it's I'm sure he had the same experience with, asking an uncle, what do you call this? I say, do this. Stop asking questions and do this.
Agreed.
Okay, I'll do this, right?
All right, I'll just do this.
Yeah. Stop. Shut up with all the questions. Just do what I told you to do, right? No name to this technique.
Oh, that's weird. And,
so the naming conventions are recent and modern, and they're not something that maybe an older period. It wasn't set in stone. Now we're just like, this is my art and it's existed.
Yeah, it's classification. Like back then, it's like the only thing I can tell you. Like it's like when El Shisimo didn't have a name initially. Oh, yeah. We'll just call it El Shisimo.
Yeah, right.
Like, a lot of names came up. Seriously.
Yeah.
Until maybe the late '90s. Everyone sat back and go, what name could I call myself since it sounds so cool?
Yeah, or you look at things like, Balintawak. It's the stuff we practice in that school on Balintawak Street.
Yeah, right, exactly, down in Cebu, right? I mean, yeah.
Like, there's no like, this epic poem of, that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, just like, we're trying to remember, like, those guys. Oh, yeah. Do you mean the guys over on this street? No, the guys on the other side of town, right?
It's
just a name.
I think that's when maybe that's an argument, maybe where the codifying started, but who knows? Okay, this is going to be for you, Errol, and the question is from Tom. Which system did you start? Was it Kuntao or Cruzada?
It was Kuntao Kali Cruzada.
Okay.
Those are the guys I started with. And I'm not saying anything bad. It's just it was time for me to move on.
Yeah, right. There was a step.
Again, there's just at times, and I'm gonna have to say, in the FMA, not just the FMA community, just martial arts community, it's just too many politics, man. I'm just gonna use you guys as an example. If I'm cool with you guys and I go to your seminars, and my instructors will go, oh no, you shouldn't go there. Why? Nah, because the history goes to. Listen, I don't.
That's your history, not mine.
That's your history. I get it, and don't get me wrong. What I teach I also teach the culture of, being Filipino and everything. Born in Quezon City, and coming back here, I still teach the culture because I have 2 kids of my own, and of course I'm going to teach the culture where it comes from and everything. But at the same time, I'm going to teach it my way. I'm going to teach it my way, the way I see things, and. Like I said, they're just my system is just. I truly believe that I take the fanciness out of it.
Yeah. No. Fair enough. And we got Richard Parsons. There's a good guy. Richard says, okay, do the Swan Block. Yes, this new.
The Swan Block. Yeah.
The Swan Block. And we got Louis Lindo from the Philippines. He's over there visiting and training with folks. And this guy. Okay, okay guys.
Who's this Renee guy?
Yeah, there he is.
Usually he's up in here.
So Errol and I haven't met, Renee was one of the people who said, "Oh, Errol's a good guy." So that immediately made me like,
I'm not that good.
probably a jerk.
Oh,
Jeez.
I make fun of people and everything is angle one.
All right. Next, okay. This is from Tom. We pretty much got questions from Tom and Lewis, some good ones. All right. When you guys decided, I'm going to throw this both at you. So we'll go back to Badger. So, was there an aspect where you needed to go a different direction from status quo? So, Badger, did you need to take a direction from status quo?
Oh God, yeah, yeah. So, my calling what I do as system is kind of an insult to the word system. It is by nature loosey-goosey, and there's no curriculum. It's just method and do it and best practices. So that was, status quo got blown out the window. Like I had sort of my illustration of it is, so I had one teacher who was 6'4", and my next teacher after him was about 5 foot nothing. It's like, this is gigantic difference in height and weight and reach and punching power and all of these things, right? And well, the tall guy wasn't so dogmatic. The little guy, it was super dogmatic. Do this. It's like, I can lift you up with one hand. And I did a really good technique, but it was sort of like the stuff that will work for that first one and the stuff that'll work for the second one don't meet. And every single person has their own attributes and their own learning method and their own learning speed and their own everything. And I'm going to find one method that works for everybody? I don't think so.
Might not be conducive to retaining students. Just saying.
It's like, fill out the questionnaire. Are you like your instructor, 5'8" and 175 pounds? If not, come on. Like,
same. Same question for you, Errol.
Can you repeat that again?
Sure.
Yeah, I was talking too long. Sorry, man.
Nah, it's all good, dude.
So the question was there an aspect where you needed to go a different direction from status quo? And you kind of already touched on it.
Yeah, I did. So I'll just repeat it for everybody else who just jumped on. Of course. When you find yourself in a stalemate, when you find yourself when you're instructor, and I'm going to say it for myself, but for everybody else, it's just an advice. If you find yourself in a stalemate, or you see the same things over and over and over again being taught for a certain amount of years. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not telling anybody to start their own stuff within 2 years. And I know there are people out there who are just so itching to do it. Oh, I want to break away because no, listen, when you train with that system for a good amount of years and see if that system is right for you. Then if you feel as if you want to move on, then move on to another system, just as long as you know how to separate it. For example, my main is lightning. So lightning for me, you could ask Guru Sachi and all them. That's we do lightning, but then I'll also break away and do a little bit of modern and double the repelon. But here's the thing, I know how to separate it. And that's I remember Brandon Vera, in MMA. He said, you know what? Before you could call yourself a true MMA fighter, you should be a black belt in a few arts and understand and know how to separate it. So again, it wasn't me just going to say, hey, listen, I only know one system and whatever, because from those systems came other systems. And when you're in a stalemate and you see a lot of things, then it's time for you to move on. It's time for you to move on. And just like and just like Badger said, each individual, you can't use that same move for someone who's 5'8" compared to someone who's 6 something now, or someone who's 6'3" and 250 pounds. So, oh yeah, you could pull that off. I'm going, nah, dude, no, you can't. Listen, you could be strong as hell, and you could be the same skilled person, with a person taller or shorter. You're gonna have to apply that move, that move or technique differently. And it was told to me, no, you got to use that technique. No, I'm 5'8". Homeboy over there is like 6'2". That's not gonna work. But when you're in the streets, you could do this. No, you can't. Trust me, you can't. I've tried it. I was lifted. So that with the experience comes other experience.
Yeah, I mean, agreed. I mean, yeah, one size fits all never worked for me. Loosey goosey is the way, from Glenn. Quote of the year.
Yeah.
All right.
It's gonna be on the t-shirts, right?
Yes.
Oh.
I can't believe this. My question is simple. Do you get offended easy? If the answer is yes, I'm not the guy for you. I can't. I see Renee being accommodating to everybody's personality.
Renee, do you get offended?
Oh boy. All right. Next question. This is kind of a fusion between me and Tom. What methodologies and philosophies did you carry over from previous teachers? Not that you had to, but if you did, Badger, what were they?
So there was a bunch of the physical skills. Like, here's how to do a roof block. Here's an angle 1. So a lot of the basic structure I definitely took with me, and kind of for me it was the lesson that was in the background. I mean, Pete taught me, like, okay, here's the curriculum, and here's the angles, and here's the blocks and the disarms and the whatevers. Here's Sinawali, here's this, that, and the other. But Pete was a bit of a scrapper. I mean, probably still is a bit of a scrapper. I haven't talked with him in a little bit. And he liked free play, and he liked just jamming, and like what a musician would refer to as jamming. We did that in a stick context, and that is where the genesis of what I did comes from. Is from what a musician would refer to as a jam session. The basic skills, like a musician learning scales, whatever. I mean, those are important, but it was the free play and the all of that stuff that was the real lesson. And that which was funny, the real lesson was friendship, the friends we made along the way. It was the background lesson that was kind of the important thing for me, and that's what came forward when I had to develop something.
No, it's so true. It's like, when people ask me, well, what's Blade Tech fused of? And I said, and you give them all systems, but some of the influence it's not from a physical sense at all. There's not a single technique, but the mindset, maybe the way they view methodology, the way they, and stuff like that really resonated with me and spoke to me. So that, made that inclusive. It doesn't always about the physical. There's
those people, and I kind of stand in awe of them. It's like, how'd that go? Oh, well, he threw an angle this, and then I did this block, and then he did, and they can tell you all the stuff that happened. For me, it was like, well, they said go, and we went for a couple of minutes, and then somebody said stop, and in between those whole stuff happening.
What about the in between?
I have no idea what was happening. If your training's good, though, the training takes over. The brain's way too slow. Okay, sorry, my brain is way too slow. Some other people might be able to keep up.
Oh, man, that's funny. Same question for you, Errol. What methodologies and philosophies did you carry over from previous teachers?
That's a good question, because in reality, I did bring a lot over with the basics. Actually, I just remember one good one was when your weapon hand just, or your weapon, it just belongs right here in the box. Don't drop your hand unless you're going to draw. Don't show your weapon. And that stuck with me. That really stuck with me. And throughout the journey and everything, I have to say that they taught me a lot when it came to the basics, the foundation. But after that, like until this day, I still hear their voice. While you're training, I could still picture them. And I remember my instructors telling me, you know what, I want you to go against the advanced guys and just be the uke, the dummy. And I would go like we would go for like an hour, and all of a sudden my legs would just drop and just jello. Can't even walk anymore. Again, it's like a mass attack. But those are the things that attributed to what I brought in to the system, because good things like that really stick. But there's just some things that you just have to move on and just say, hey, you know what? Let's see what else we could do with what was taught to me here. And that's how I used to train. We would have almost 3-hour trainings. And I would train, man, this is before the kids came. I would train like 6 days out of the week. And I was working in New York, and I had to travel back to Jersey. But I just remember, let's try this technique. And it became a free flow, busted hands. You stuck your finger in someone's eye by mistake and go, okay, you know what? That shit could really happen out there. So let's keep on practicing and practicing. But yeah, those are the good things. Those are the good days.
Yeah.
Now I have to think about my insurance and my health insurance.
Something that as we get older is needed.
Yeah.
All right, let's flip it. Let's flip it back to, we're going to flip it so you get first cracked, Errol. Let me just make sure. Okay, Glenn, I see your question. I got it written down. I'm going to pop it in on my page 2 questions where it fits. What were the initial, all right, upon launching your guys' system, this will be for both of you. What 2-part question. Was it initially challenging to get it going? And when it was kind of implemented, what were some of the challenges that came after implementation? So, Errol.
I didn't find it a challenge. I mean, the first time we had class was in Jersey City, and I assisted with a higher instructor. And then from there, I guess because he moved away, and started a family and everything. So I just inherited the group, but that was all the way up North Jersey. When I moved to Central Jersey, some of those northern heads actually followed. And I guess because of my background, I just had history in fighting and everything. So a lot of folks just came to my class. And I remember my first class, I had like about 15 people there, and learning how to maintain them, because it wasn't a school. It was a school, but it wasn't a school. When you do outside training all the time, you have to find the elements, snow, rain, and how do you keep them together? And then after a while, I would always tell the guys, listen, I could only teach so much, per week. You guys have to call each other and train. Some people would do it, some people won't. I think that was the difficult part of it.
Yeah, self-initiate. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when I started renting out space, I still had a good amount of heads. A lot of people still training, but I remember there was a quote years ago that I saw. This is during MySpace, and I saw a quote that Guru Dan Inosanto had up there. It said, again, I'm just gonna go by what I remember. Don't ever let anybody train for free. You let anybody train for free, they're going to think they could come and go as they please.
That's right, the value. Okay.
Yeah. So is it quality? Is it quantity versus quality? And then again, now I remember my son's karate instructor. He said to me that and I wanted to ask him for advice. So I said, hey, listen, how do you have great school here? He goes, listen, my advice to you is everybody knows you as a martial artist. They all know you as a martial artist, but be known as a businessman, because you don't ever want to get bitched. You don't ever want to, and I'll be honest with you, when it came to the business in the beginning, it was rough.
Yeah,
it was rough. So now, the focus now is, hey, you know what? Let's create the business. But how do you create business? And at the same time, how do you keep your system running properly without watering it down? So
that's a great point, because now you have electricity to pay, you have rent to pay.
Well, thank God I have a full-time job.
Yeah. Now, if it's your sole means of income and you are going balls to the wall with weapons, my guess is you're not going to consistently have, a ton of students. So that's I have empathy for the folks that are in that position. Like, what's the cutoff, so to speak? You know what I mean? As far as the intensity. And I don't have the answer. I mean, but I just know some folks go through that. And what happens is they unconsciously or consciously, they water it down, you know what I mean? Or, make it more palatable, you know what I mean?
You know what? You can't hate people for that neither, because
no, I don't. I have empathy for them, because I mean, if that's their livelihood, I mean, who the hell am I to tell them what they should?
Although I've seen people who have their schools and teaching weapons art, and it's not good.
yeah, or it's a secondary tertia. I mean,
it's like their concentration is not on, and the thing is, they're going to teach a knife defense class, and when you see, you could hit him here, and then you grab him, blah blah blah, and here's the knife over here, and they're not securing that wrist or the elbow, and you see this, and they go, oh yeah, you did a great job, and I'm sitting there looking at them go, you have a great business.
That man, but don't get me down that rabbit. Don't get me down that rabbit hole. Empty hand against knife. I mean,
I'm walking that way.
But yeah. So okay, same question for you, Badger.
Yeah. So for me, it was actually 20th anniversary coming up next year. So
wow, that's all.
Yeah, pretty stoked. But so I had been teaching concurrently Chinese martial arts and Filipino martial arts. And I had been teaching, I had a lot of Kung Fu students who've been with me for quite some time. And I'm not I mentioned earlier, I'm not a dogmatic person. And I mean, Chinese martial arts, it's like, there's no kind of like, like, hey, do your horse stance the way you like, is everybody comfy? No, it's like, this is the way you do it.
It's this hand again.
Yeah, right. I had a lot of teachers who were not shy about slapping me in the head because I didn't do things that way. And I'm not that guy. And so it was kind of weird doing this, like, I am the dogmatic person. Oh, wait, no, wrong class. Oh, I'm like the celebrate good kind of guy. And so anyway, so in 2004, it was, okay, we're getting rid of the Chinese curriculum. We're just doing Filipino and this new sailing Laboy Warnies thing that I've dreamt up. And so I had a few students who were I had a few guys who just said like, no, sorry, I'm done, and left. And I had a few who said, we don't want to do Filipino. We want to do the Chinese. We're almost finished the curriculum. And they did private classes with me for like 2 years, I think it was, just to finish things off, get there, round it all out. So that was cool. But yeah, some people left, some people stuck around, but only wanted to do the old curriculum. And I've still got guys from back then, 20 years ago, still training with me. So
That's fantastic. Obviously, you're doing something right. If you got somebody 20 years, that's phenomenal.
oh yeah, well yeah, 20 plus years. They were with me a long time before that, but
No, that's
I don't know. It's weird and it's odd. I'm some sort of cult leader now.
Listen,
Like that. No,
if they stayed with you, then listen, you must be doing something.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
These are full instructors in their own right. These are guys that if tomorrow I got hit by a bus,
they could they fill right in for you.
Yeah,
That's
there
good,
would be no lack of
So,
knowledge.
Roger, let me ask you this question.
Yeah, sure.
Dean, also to you.
Sure. He's flipping the script.
No, well, yeah, I'm going to ask it because here's the thing. So, one, I'll tell you the reason. I'll tell you after. So, my question to you guys are: do you believe that any of your students stay with you for obligation, or do they stay because they truly believe in the system?
I can answer that easy.
Let's go.
They stay with me, nothing due to obligatory. And the reason why is because when they join, I have a small group on Facebook, Playtech, and it's probably like 30 people. And I often put passages in there like, my emphasis on your journey. You're the student. You're the most important. Get as much out of this as you want. The system's made for you to create who you want to be and all that. So the whole freedom and aspect, and plus a lot of these guys have seen my shows on here and that constant message that I convey about the student being the most important aspect, not the teacher, not the system. So they've heard it so many times from me. It's definitely not out of obligation.
Yep.
How about you, Badger?
Yep. Same thing. I mean, I've got some real tight bonds with some of these guys. Like, I've had students get married. I'm, one of my students, I'm a godfather to his daughter. There's some tight bonds, but I've also got, I had somebody recently say, I'm feeling burned out. I'm going to go train with somebody else for a while. It's like, awesome. Go train with that person. Like, it's a conversation. And, if somebody says something, you don't have to reply in that conversation. If that person, again, is saying like, I'm burned out. I'm just not feeling it right now. You know what? If you're a shitty person, you say you have to train here, yada yada yada.
Or you'll say something bad about the other person or whatever.
Yeah, that guy, he was never a good student. Yeah, rah, rah, rah. Oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
Who am I that's so fucking important, right? No, that person's personal growth is way more important.
That 100%. I tell folks,
they're going to get what they need, and I'm still in contact with them. It's not like it's just like
where it's contentious or it's
I want people to grow, and I want people to bring new stuff to their
That's
game.
the thing. I was just going to say that back to Errol. I mean, it's like I tell my students all the time. Like, matter of fact, a lot of my students train with other people, and I highly encourage it. I do. I mean, and hey, don't be shy about sharing what you're seeing out there, whatever. So yeah, I just firmly believe in that.
We were talking about that yesterday, and Errol was mentioning, like, if I'm at a seminar and I'm in a complete agreement with him, he was saying, I'm in a seminar and I'm doing the material that the guy shows. I'm not like, let me show you how to really do a wrist lock. No, Errol's saying, he was saying, like, I'm there and I'm there to, you're giving me information and I'm there to learn how you bring that information.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I actually went to a seminar before at one time, and they all turned around and said, "Wait a minute, I saw you in Facebook. Wait, you're Guru Errol." I'm like, "I'm Errol. How you doing?" And they're like, "Why are you here?" I went, "Because I said I'm interested in the seminar," and they're like, "Well, you should be teaching your seminar." And I'm going, No. I'm here to learn your system. And it was their student saying that. And they're going, oh, you move like us. I'm going, well, because you're teaching the system. Of course, I want to move like you guys, but
Yep.
agreed.
Yeah, I have to give you credit, Earl. I did enjoy your statement last night about that when you're at somebody else's seminar. Because, that just sucks, man. When people go there and you see them on the side and they're not doing it, or
confuses
they're trying to put
other
their own
people.
twist on it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just like, man, can't you just surrender for the allotment of time here and just do what's being shown to you? And then when you get home, twist it apart, break it apart, do your thing. But God, within the element and the setting, can't you, that really bugs me.
And here's the thing, I give credit where credit is due. So
Yeah.
say, for example, I go to a seminar, Dean will show, okay, he shows this knife technique, stick technique, whatever technique it is. And I'll say, listen, I just came from the seminar and I truly appreciated this technique.
Mm.
It was from Badger, it's from Dean. And listen, it was awesome. I'm going to start implementing it in our system. But here's the thing. Anytime there's something that's been taught from another instructor that I truly never even came across before, I'm going to give props to that person. I'll just say, yo, listen, he just showed me this technique. This is awesome. But, if it's just a regular hubad, high, low, whatever, being taught. And then from my experience, I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, so-and-so from the 20 seminars that I was at, oh, yeah, this hubad came from Grandmaster so-and-so. This block came from no. But, again, that's that irks me. That irks me.
Okay, this is a question from Lewis, who sent some good questions in. His question is, your goals in the creation, was it not so much reinventing the wheel or modifications to your expression of FMA? What say you, Badger?
Yeah, so for mine, I kind of went in a radically different format. So I started, I started training in the early '80s, and it was kind of funny because there was a whole lot of stuff there time, like, I've a black belt in Aikido, and I've done Shorin-ryu karate, and I've done such and such, and I took the best elements and created the ultimate style. And you'd see like 50 different guys do the same crap, like, oh, I have a black belt in judo and and they all took the best elements, and somehow we didn't get them all into one arena to fight it all out, which we should have. Yeah, I went the opposite route, and I just got rid of all that crap. Everything's, I say crap. I don't know. If you take offense, go ahead. I'll own it. No, I went with one organizing principle, aliveness, and everything else is just practice and personal experience. I'm holding my stick and this is my roof block, and maybe somebody might tell you this is the optimal angle for your block, and it may be, and it might not be, and you're going to discover that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so all of that just.
So you're touching on something that I treasure and I try to do with my own students. Do you encourage self-discovery? Or do you push that into your students?
It is the only way that
That is awesome.
That is the organizing principle of what we do for my
group.
Awesome.
Wow.
Calling what I do a system is kind of an insult to the word system, right? Like,
yeah, I guess it's the term, though. Lack of a better.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can. Oh, I don't have a system. I have a whatever.
Yeah,
whatever. It's a method. Let's call it that. And it's just self-discovery is the way it is. It is our central thing we do, and we organize things again. Aliveness, right? We want, and we can dial these up or down, depending on circumstances. A resisting opponent, unrehearsed action, and real-time motion. And we can we can raise these up and down. Like, if I give you, you're, hi there, I'm Joe Whitebelt, and I just walked in and I'm not sure which end of the stick to hold, and the whole, whatever.
You use the right stick.
Yeah, you can't put things right at, super high levels. Like, so you've heard of Dog Brothers, right? It's not going to end well.
And then they exit stage left.
Yeah, so you take all of those things and you bring them down to a level that's appropriate.
Yeah.
But as soon as possible, you need to start. The action has to be, okay, instead of saying like, I'm going to give you this strike and you're going to block it this way, very, very set rehearsed actions. Like, okay, I'm going to give you a forehand strike, or I'm going to give you a strike, or whatever. That and all of that is self-discovery, because I don't want to spoon feed you. I don't want to say like, here's how you hold your stick. I'm going to tell you important things like, don't make sure your fist isn't.
Yeah, your hand's not in front of your
block, right? Don't block with your
block right here, so I can't see shit.
Shit. Well, it's everybody does that. Everybody does that, and you still do it when things get fast enough, right? It's like, oh, he's coming in with a backhand strike, and I start doing in a roof block, and I punch his stick out of the air. Take that. Self-discovery.
Self-discovery.
You know what I like to do is like have the guys just practice that movement over and over again, so they could. What I tell people is, hey, listen, I grab a controller or something, the stick, right, and I said, listen, this is just wood. I said, if I drop the wood, that shit just sits there, right? Yeah. So I said, so why are you moving your body in a weird way, looking like you're doing like a forearm tennis swing, right? So I would say, don't let that stick control you. You're the one that's alive. Control that stick. Until they can control that weapon in their hand, or even like, a jab cross, a takedown, doing a dumo the proper way. Then from there, that's when I say, hey, you know what? Let's do scenario training. Let's go live.
Yep.
Just let's be careful, right? So if they're moving a certain way, I won't allow them to do any kind of scenario training, only because I see how goofy a lot of these guys are, right? A lot of them, I'll be honest with you, and I'll say it to them in their face. I'll say, yo, I don't think you should be part of Dancing with the Stars, because you're very goofy, and don't let that weapon control you. I went, what's so hard about doing this movement? Again, everybody will train a certain way, and they'll always say, excuse me, and the way I think about training is, hey, listen, a lot of people get guns, right? And here they are saying, oh, I'm going to go to the target range, and I know how to shoot a gun. I tell them, hey, listen, if you have a firearms, you should go to a TAC class. You need to go to a tactical course to actually learn how to utilize that weapon properly. I said, same thing as in FMA. I said, when you go to a Kali, I said, why? Okay, you carry that as an EDC. That's great and everything. And anybody could stab anybody, right? But here's the thing. Majority of attacks, and I'll say this all the time, majority of attacks are home invasions. So what happens in a home invasion, you have everything in this damn house to use, but yet they don't know how to use it. So I keep on telling my guys, hey, listen, stress yourselves out. But my philosophy is control that weapon, know how to use it. Don't walk around trying to be machismo just because you have a blade in your fucking pocket, and the weapons that you carry, it's, if you can walk away and get the hell out of there, go. But if someone breaks into my home, that's a different story now, But majority, look at the videos that happen. And I had some friends who were actually in home invasions, and they told me right away, they froze. They're like, yo, someone kicked my door down and blah, blah, blah. I'm just like,
yeah, I mean, for initial response.
And they're like, oh, this is what you do? I'm going, yeah, this is what I teach. And again, it's not saying that I'm just any schmo who just got taught. It's, listen, I came from violence. I believe that if someone comes at you with violence, use violence, plain and simple, But at the same time, when you teach a class, for me, learn how to protect yourself against a stick fighter, right? Learn how to protect yourself against someone who just bolo swing shit, because everybody fights differently. And I couldn't stand it years ago when they said, you have to block it like this because a person is going to do this. And I'm going, no, they're not.
What if they don't?
Yeah, what if they don't? How are you going to block that?
Yeah.
And, again, though, that was the time where I didn't say anything during class.
Yeah, those are the moments where you're thinking it, but you're not saying anything.
I could have sworn he heard me.
I'm going to catch up on the comments here, guys, and then I got some questions that are coming in. Yeah. Okay. Oh, we got Emmett Page. I'm curious if moving from mentally was freeing. We'll have to get to that. Renee, super tiny. Okay. We got Gabe. Yes, Tom, I got your question coming up. And then as we hunted, we hunted the guy down that left Badger. I'm shocked that Renee would say something like that. Nothing more embarrassing to see someone teaching a seminar at a seminar. Agreed. And aggravating.
Let me show you how we do that. And showing where you.
We got Kurt here. It's a curious thing when people pay for a seminar to only complain or not participate and be obtuse. Yeah, it's bizarre. I had I shouldn't share this, but yeah.
This is what our system is about, man.
And then we got Renee. Badger was one of the only people I know that tie-dyed seminar shirts and made them his own.
It's true. And Renee nearly
can't. Ego's enemy. Go team violence. Another surprising statement from Renee. All right.
That's actually Renee. That's actually a cool name, man.
What team are you on? I'm on team violence. All right. Next question, because they're coming in, and all right. So I'm gonna get to Tom and Glenn. So okay. Glenn's question, during a week, a month, like how do you guys allocate more to individual or partner training or a little both in a class setting?
Partner training.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, but if it's odd man out, then sorry, you got to hit the bag.
He just goes in a corner and faces the corner and just
put the sucker in the corner. And it's all hoopla drills the whole night.
What about you, Badger? A little both, one the other?
Yeah, so I mean, I teach a class once a week, and then I'm working from home, so it's you're typing away and you're getting bored, like go into the other room, swing a stick for a little while, and go back to work. And we try to set up sparring sessions out in the park.
Okay.
Which only once have we got shut down after 6 years. Yeah, we had this bylaw guy came up and told us immediately that we needed to get a permit.
Team violence.
Yeah. Maybe those shirts were a bad choice at the time. I don't know. So, but so other than just I've got a weekly class and occasional sparring sessions in the park and a lot of training time just on my own.
On your own, okay.
I got a lot of nervous energy. Like I'll sit there, like drumming on shit and so if that happens to manifest itself in pop elbows and whatever else.
Here we're asking Badger a question. He's just going into
I've had that. I actually my goat OP just one point. Just like we're like a grocery store or something. I'm doing my
Badger will be doing a juru.
He's like, could you fucking knock that off?
All right, let's stay on Badger. All right, so here's Tom's question. Both Badger and Errol. What drills, techniques, and philosophies did you omit from your curriculum, especially the ones that became so ingrained in your own technique that you had to be conscious not to do them? Was that the case for either or, Badger?
Oh, God, yeah.
Okay.
Unlearning shit is the worst.
Mm.
Like, you know, I kind of had a stance like with like double stick like this, almost like a karate, you know, this sort of thing. But you know, one hand closed, one hand, and I was like, this is my shield, and this is, man, did I get my ass kicked a lot doing that? You know, and you start looking at what you do, and you start paring away unessentials. And there's a lot of techniques and stuff that, like, I learned, okay, you know, here's the angles, and here's the blocks for each angle, and here's the counters to those blocks for each angle, and here's the disarms for the blocks to the counters of the angles. And I knew an old lady who swallowed a fly, and like, it's bullshit. It doesn't happen.
No.
And yeah, and after, you know, having somebody thump on you for a little while, and you realize that, yeah, this stuff doesn't manifest.
Yeah. I mean, especially when you go against some of those dog brother guys, man.
Those jerks.
You kind of find out real quick, man. Steve Sachs,
They couldn't-
230, running around like a linebacker, just waiting to freaking just eat you. And
So
Is he 6'3" or 6'2"?
He's about 6'15". Like, I look at him and all I see is like up his nostrils because he's that much taller than me.
he's a scary guy, man.
Here's a little story. So not this year, last year, the Montreal Canadian Gathering. So Steve said, I want to do a 3-on-1 fight. Double sticks. It's going to be 30 seconds because he figured that after 30 seconds, these three guys would probably jump you and
hold you down. And
30 seconds is a good adrenaline dump.
30 seconds is the longest 5 minutes of your life, right?
Yeah.
And so it was myself and two other dog brothers, and we did. And Steve fucking dominated it. Like, he would charge you, and you're like, ah!
He gets running. It's just like,
you guys should wear motorcycle helmets.
Oh, I'm telling you,
we're all just like, you got him, go get him, I got your back. Like,
yeah, he's scary,
right behind you,
man.
Holy shit, fuck.
Yeah,
that was a very long second. He hit indicative. So Rob Peaker, Cherry Dog, he hit Cherry in the hip hard enough to knock him to the ground.
No, you know what the thing about him is? I mean, he can calibrate based on it. Like, he was obviously very nice to me, but I remember I'm going and I'm looking and he's like, vroom, vroom, vroom. Yeah. And I'm like, this is crazy. This guy, like, heavier than me, bigger than me, is moving like, and I'm just like, oh my God, man, this is like, this is
why he wanted to go against Dog Brothers, because he didn't have to worry about holding back. That it wouldn't be like, if he's kind of like going tappity, 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 oh, we can jump him, and you know, but if he's
he's
swinging that stick, yeah.
He's a great guy, though. He's such a great guy, though.
Great guy. Yeah, it's like, you know, while you're nursing your wounds, like, Steve's a hell of a nice guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the corner.
Fucker.
He is freaking. All right. Yeah. Oh, okay. Great. So let's go to Errol. Okay, quickly, guys, because I still got a bunch. Okay. Just quick synopsis. What does your system cover as far as weapon modules? And second part, is it purely FMA?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna have to say yes.
That's okay. Okay. And what weapons are you covering?
Double stick, bolo, edge weapon. I mean, knives, different sizes, because you know the way you handle the blade is totally different. So I like to, you know, mix match it. Someone who has a longer blade, you know, long on long, that's fine. But then all of a sudden, the way you're moving, your footwork, oh shit, I got cut. You know, why'd you get cut? Oh, I don't know. Well, his fucking blade is longer, and then you have to take a step back differently, right? So, double stick. You know what? I teach Espada y Daga. I love it. I love Espada y Daga. Although I teach it, I do like teaching the bolo. I love teaching the bolo. Because where I go, again, I grew up using the bolo, but the places that I go right now for work, I go in the inner city. So I go in the hood. And believe it or not, these motherfuckers carry their machetes, right? So we're in Spanish Harlem, you know, Bronx. They're carrying their bat like this. And I have a partner with me. And it was a woman. And she goes, oh, my God, that guy's carrying a bat and the other guy's carrying a machete. I'm like, mm-hmm. And she goes, uh-huh. That, welcome to my world, you know? So, and this is the stuff that I like to teach my guys, because I'll tell them, I said, listen, you guys probably work from home. You're in the office a lot. I said, shit like this happens. I said, even here in the burbs, I live in a beautiful area and it's all suburbs, but believe it or not, lately there have been a lot of knife attacks, not just in the inner cities, but you're talking about in the malls, in the suburban malls. And I keep on telling everyone, hey, listen, I focus more on blades and bolo, and yeah, I do a lot of double stick, but these are the things that you have to really think. I don't want you guys having anxiety and always being like this all the time, but I said, know your shit, because stuff like this happens. And again, if you could run away, run, go. But if you're in front of that person and you're being attacked, I said, shit happens. Trust me on that. And, they go, seriously? I went, yeah, I'm not saying this because my teacher and their teacher is giving me this story. And I'm saying, oh, my teacher back in the day and their teacher in the village, they got into a fight. And nah, dude, even in the 1940s and 1950s in the Philippines, you could get into a fight and everything. You'll still get arrested. Shit, I'm from the Philippines, man. Is there a lot of violence there? Of course, right? But you're still going to get arrested if you get caught. Yeah. So here too. And I said, hey, listen, a lot of edge weapon, a lot of concepts on that, because of the fact that, listen, if you get shot with a gun, what are you going to do? You got to learn the gun too. But if someone has an edge weapon and someone's coming at you, that's my whole philosophy. And when I was being taught, they were actually, oh, you really like the blade, because some schools really concentrate more on sticks. Yeah. And they're like, oh yeah, you could move like this. I go, no, you can't. you have to put more force into that stick compared to if you have a damn machete and you just person gets cut.
No, 100%. Yeah, blunt versus edge. I mean, I'm the opposite. I don't really teach stick. It's all knife. I just tell when people, I want to stick, then go to the Dog Brothers.
I do love stick grappling. Look, I do love stick grappling, man.
Yeah, I mean, I do. That's the one area, stick clinch and stick grappling. But as far as that whole thing, it's not really my forte. I just think there's just better people out there. I just refer them to you want to get good at it, go see those guys that their name starts with dog or something. But all right, same question for you, Badger. So you touched on this yesterday. So what do you cover?
Well, it's funny. So yeah, we touched on this yesterday. And so when I started SLA, it was single knife, single stick, empty hands. Really around the basics and really around the core stuff. And I said that yesterday, and then I was thinking since then, it's like, oh shit, man, that's not true. We do everything. And it's not like we do everything. We're a universal martial art. It's just that we're easily bored. So it's single stick, double stick, stick. Well, we don't do a lot of espada y daga. Single dagger, double dagger. I got a lot of staff material, which everybody seems to really like. So that's cool.
It's funny. I can't believe I didn't pick up on that yesterday, that you didn't mention that, because I love watching your staff stuff. Yeah.
I'm having a ball. I'm having a ball. Hey. I'm having a ball with it. I had to be Renee before. Yeah, Renee.
Can you guys see this?
There you go.
Errol, you seen this?
Yeah. So yeah, so
thank you, Renee, for distracting.
There's a lot of there's a lot of staff work in Filipino martial arts, but you never see it, right? So
I love what you show. I think it's great what you show, Matt. I mean, yeah, I love it.
yeah, I'm having a blast with it, and yeah, whenever I ever get to train staff with people, they're like, I got to learn more of this. But yeah, so we do everything just because we're easily bored. And like I mentioned yesterday, I've got two guys, I call them mad scientists, who are always ordering the weirdest shit off Amazon or whatever, showing up to class like, hey, how do we use these? Like, what even is that? Like, what? I think that breaks laws, like, or if not laws, at least common decency.
You got like Revenge of the Nerds coming into your class.
Oh, yeah, but like martial Revenge of the Nerds. Like Revenge of the Nerds, but they take out the bullies with violence.
Team violence.
Yay, violence. Team violence.
Jeez, that's funny. Oh,
But
yeah,
yeah,
you know what?
that's kind of it, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's like asking how many fighters, not just martial arts, but fighters, played D&D back in the day. Answer: a lot.
Oh, I was to play Dungeons.
We were all nerds back in the day, and then we
Some
decided
shape, way, or form, right?
Well, it's not called FMA. It's called HEMA.
Hema.
It's called HEMA.
I like the HEMA guys. I've got a good relationship with HEMA guys.
Go team, Bridgeport. All right, we
Yeah.
got love watching your staff. Best line ever.
Wow.
Jesus.
Wow.
Renee, I had to beat him on that one.
Yeah,
God Almighty.
right.
And Kurt Sylvia. Okay, and okay, here we got a question. Okay, let's all right, here we go. So this kind of fits in now. Okay, so this is from Tim Mercer, and his question is: when building a system curriculum, how much time to future planning do you devote at the beginning? For example, are you assuming people are going to be with you for years, or more goal-based, as if I want you ready to do X event?
Excellent question.
Yeah, I never really thought about that when I first started. I just did it because I wanted to teach.
Okay.
You know, I just wanted to teach, and then
Yeah.
the curriculum was whatever was good, and I threw away the bullshit. And yeah, I'm gonna say it out loud. There was a lot of bullshit that, like the candlestick block when you had to do this.
FMA tends to have some of that stuff.
Yeah, so I actually wanted for so many times said, you know what? Hit me as hard as you can with that stick. I'm going to try to do the candlestick block. Maybe I sucked at doing the candlestick block, but so many to look. See that crooked ass finger? That broke.
You sucked at doing the candlestick block.
Yeah. Seriously, that 3 times. One time was in the collar, and but whatever. But there's a lot of shit that I was just like, I don't want to teach that. That doesn't work. Nah. Yeah, let me do this. But yeah, maybe just a few years back was me sitting down, really putting a curriculum together. But back then, I wasn't really there. I was just doing it because I just love the art, Yeah. And I just like to fight.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
I had the same question.
Same question. I don't have a curriculum. What I do is the antithesis of a curriculum. So
Nice. I do, man. That is refreshing to hear.
and yeah, so I mean, Tim's asking, are you assuming people are going to be with you for years? No. They could be with me for a class, or they could be with. I've got guys who've been with me for
20 years, right?
25. I've got so I moved I've got guys training with me since 1990.
Wow.
That's a long time.
That's a freaking long time, and God,
that's like seeing families grow. And
Roger was only 12.
Yeah, back when I was very tiny. I was about this tall, and anyway.
I was 25 in 1990.
Yeah, you and I are just about the same age.
I would like to go back to 1990.
So a line that I
had hair in 1990.
Every once in a while, it's something I read today. Every once in a while, you should look back on your life and say, "What a fucking idiot I was."
Yeah. I had a lot of those
Now
moments.
see how far you come. Anyway, so what Tim's question about is it goal based? Are they going to be with me for years, or are we working towards an event? I look at this like a conversation, and it's not. Do you have goal-based conversations? Well, you probably do, but they're more like work or something like that. Like, hey, Jim, I need those deliverables on my desk by Monday morning. But most conversations, it's like, you went off for coffee with a friend. What'd you talk about? Everything.
Yeah. Who knows everything? Lower everything, right?
But if a friend is saying like, oh, I got this very specific thing I want to talk to you about, something big, I'm getting married, or like an event. Hey, okay, well, let me help you out with that. The conversation changes according to what the conversation's about. I've got this thing coming up, and I wanted your input. Okay, that's an X event conversation. Or, like I said, I was with some friends who did Chinese martial arts, and some of them, I've known for 34 years. And and the conversation flows, and it goes all over the place. And if somebody asked us what we talked about, it was infinity, everything.
No, that's awesome. I like
training goes.
Okay, here's a good one, and this is something I was very, very fortunate to have support in all aspects, peers, and more importantly, my teachers. So the question is from Lewis. Were peers and previous teachers supportive? Badger.
Yeah. So when I came to Guru Pete, and I said, so I've got this name that I'm bringing forward, Siling Laboyo Arnis. Background on that: Siling Laboyo is the hottest pepper in the Philippines. They're tiny. They're like, for the Americans in the audience, they're like about half an inch long.
The sili.
Oh yeah, they're.
Oh my god.
Those sucker, and they're hot.
Put it in vinegar.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so I said, Pete, I'm coming to you with this name, and Arnis, because that's what he called his art. That's what his teacher called his art. Yada yada yada. So why would I change that? That sounds good to me. But Pete thought, yeah, long live Siling Laboyo Arnis. He was totally in favor of it. I came to him respectfully. I came with him honestly. And he's like, yep, no, that's the way to do it, man.
Wow, that's great to hear.
Thanked me for that, and wished me the best on my journey. So. Yeah,
like I tell you, like Tom Sotis, my muck coach, he was just so behind me. I mean, just it was actually just wonderful. Yeah, I mean, have that support. Errol, same question.
Oh yeah, so same thing. Like I talked to Guru Alex and his wife Guru Joy, TSR Kali, and I told him, when I broke away, and I said, listen, I'm just I said for many years, again, for the business aspect, because if I'm trying to sell myself out there, I had the other system there, but I couldn't use that system's name. So I said FMA Fighters as, just whatever it is. And then I guess the whole breakup happened. So when I spoke to, the TSR Kali gurus there, and again, we've been training together for like a little over 20 years. So they had my back on it, and they were just like, so yeah, I think I'm just going to call it Ballesteros Kali because of my experience out in the streets, wrestling background, and, whatever I learned. And they're like, go for it. And then I spoke with Guru Sachi, and I said, doing lightning and everything. And he was just like, very supportive and just the big bunch, Tom, he was cool with it. Like, I'm like, yo, Tom, what's up? How you doing? I met him at the seminars, cool cat. And, but again, the people from TSR Kali, and, so let me see, Sachi and other folks, they were just like, you know what, man, that politic bullshit, just do your thing. I got you. And, just to hear that from those guys, it made me go, I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. And you know what? Again, I used to have a huge following. Obviously, it dwindles down where everyone has responsibilities. And, now I'm starting to see it where all the kids are starting to get interested. And that's where we wanted to focus it on. But because, them supporting me, that was awesome. So, mad respect.
Awesome. We got some. Renee is taking off, and he left the following words. Gotta fly. Badger, see you sooner than later. Errol, looking forward to sharing whiskey, 2 glasses, just to be clear. Lewis Bowers, I'm not sure what this, I think it was what you were talking about.
Stealing the boyo. Yeah, that's the pepper.
And great group to hang out with and all that. Sachi. All right. Okay. Next question. This is going so well. Okay, honoring of past teachers.
Yep.
Okay, so not that you have to, but your guys' lens on honoring of past teachers. Errol.
How you doing? As Jersey folks would say, how you doing? So we'll leave it.
How you doing?
Listen, I honor all the teachers that that taught me, because again, if it wasn't for them, my journey wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Well, if it lands off on my pops, my uncles, my cousins, those were my first teachers, my first training partners, and again with the Crusada guys, of course, I'm not going to say that they never taught me. They taught me a lot, so. Respect to them, but again, it was about the same time for me to say, as much as they didn't like what I'm doing, yeah, it's time for me to move on, man. I'm a grown man. when you find yourself, in a standstill, you got to move on. And to all those other instructors out there who allowed me, when I asked them, hey, do you mind if I use this technique and to show my guys? By all means, go ahead. Respect to them too. So yeah, of course.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's like, when folks ask me, like, because of my Sayak Atienza and all this and all that, I said they were necessary speed bumps. They were necessary stops for me to come to the point of where I'm at right now. Matter of fact, if it wasn't for those stops, I don't think I would be as mature martially and to do what I do, to convey what I do and all that. So to me, they were necessary along the journey, and I absolutely honored each and every one of them. Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, Badger, same thing.
Yep. So I don't like formality, and in my class especially, it's like, yeah, you can call me Guru if you want, but
I prefer Dean. I'm the same way. I can't say
everybody calls. Well, I'd be totally fine if they called me Guru, but whatevs. I had a guy trying class this week, and I'm paired up with him, and we're doing a little blocking and striking exercise, and I'm sort of like, dude, you're kind of like stopping your stick out here. And he says, well, I can't hit my teacher. It's like, yeah, you can.
You can.
You really can. Because
we actually encourage it.
but also, why would you insult me by giving me a half-ass strike? But okay, so I don't like formality, and I don't promote it in my class because I think it's antithetical to what we're trying to do, the method that we're trying to do. But the one thing I do insist on, beginning of class, the first thing we do is we line up. And it's irrespective of rank. I'm not like at a certain spot in a line. Yeah, whatever. We all line up. We're all facing in one direction. And it's to the traditional masters and teachers who came before us. Salute.
Nice. I like that.
And then we form a circle. So again, circle, all the points are equidistant. We're all equal in that circle. And then it's to our brothers and sisters. salute.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
And we begin class with that, and we end class with that, and it's the only formality I insist on.
Man, I like that.
Every class, we are going to salute. And it's not just my teachers and formal teachers and informal teachers, people I've learned whatever from. Everybody can be my teacher, and they have their teachers, and there's a whole lot of people we'll never hear about. You know, some dude in raggedy shorts and flip-flops living in the jungle, you know, who was wicked with a bolo, and we'll never hear about this dude, but he had a really good effect on somebody.
Yeah, they had right. They had right.
And that 100%. Lineage passed us. We'll never know about that person.
That's so true.
It's vital that we respect and salute and pay homage to those people that came before us.
I couldn't say it better. I'm with you, man. That's
no, I really like this. I like what you just said earlier.
Profound, huh?
Hit. If I get hit, there's a reason. I didn't move, right?
I had that once. I had a student say to me, you know, we're doing kind of like a pair thing, and she was saying something along the lines of, like, you know,
yes,
I get the feeling like you could hit me at any time, and it's sort of like, well, I should have some level of experience better than, you know, if I'm going to teach the class.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get it.
Yep.
Got another one here. Who went first? I'm starting to lose order here. Sorry, my fault.
My second class.
All right. Oh, all right. We're back to Badger. Okay. All right. What advice would you give to others considering creating their own system?
Be honest while you're doing it, why you're doing it, and then give her. Let it go. Let it happen.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if it's, I want to create an amazing fighting system, well, you better be good at fighting, and you better be honest about your fighting abilities. If it's, I want to make a system that's, again, I talked about the last time I got interviewed, that Dean and I were chatting. It's the big 6 reasons. There we go. 6 reasons why people take martial arts. And let's see if I can get this in one take. Fight, fear, fitness, fad, friends, and fun. I think I got it right.
I think you did.
Yeah. I know I got 6. Fudge.
Fudge.
Fudge. But so if you're making fighters, you better be sure that that's what you're doing. If your idea is, I want fitness, you know, as scream size.
Oof.
Well, sorry, I know, like Errol's gonna my teeth are itching now.
Our niece's size.
Yeah. Oh, but if that's what you're doing, and God have mercy on your soul if you are, be honest about that.
Yeah.
Right. Don't tell people that, oh, you know, here we are learning self-defense and amazing fitness. Fuck off. Be honest about what you're doing and why you're doing it. And then once you're honest about it, let her happen. And
I think it's awesome. I'm digging it. Yeah. Errol, what would your advice be if somebody was considering to do their own system or create their own system?
Hold on, I'm looking at Glenn's question here. Yeah, we're still talking about FMA, brother. So, honestly, when it comes down to it, I'm in agreement with Badger as well. But be sure when, you know, again, as I said in the beginning, don't be a 2-3 year guy.
Yeah.
You know, don't be a 5-year guy. Even 5 year, to me, that's still a rookie. You know, an intermediate.
Yeah. You know, you're getting the idea, but
you're getting the idea, but you're not truly understanding it. Mm-hmm. Again, I would always say to the guys in my group, technique, application, understand. Yeah, that's what I always tell them. TAU, T-A-U. And they go, technique, application, understand. I said, okay, so understand all of that. Understand the system that you're in. Try another system. Yeah. If you understand this system and understand this system, and if you could separate those and understand each movement,
Mm.
and you feel as if you're growing and or if you're at a standstill and you need to grow more, then that's a question for you to decide what you want to do.
Yep.
You know, again, I'm not going to say, oh, create your own system, because again, there's a lot of suckers out there, and I'll say it straight up. There's a lot of suckers out there who think that they could create their own system.
Yep.
But, you know, for the people who have created their own system, they've been around for a long time. You know, I remember when Doug Mercado, when I first saw him out there, I'm like, oh, isn't he Pakiti? Blah, 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 this and that. Then I started seeing him move differently and everything. And I see like all these guys from Pakiti moving differently, Modern Artist moving differently. Then they'll have their own name. I don't know if it's for business reasons or is it because of, you know, they truly want to create their own system. Because in honesty, I see all the movements from Modern. I see all the movements from Pakiti, but yet their flavor, again, flavor is flavor.
Yep.
But at the same time, I could see that they have their own shtick to it. So when I see the forums and them saying, oh, it's not my system to create a system, I'm going to get it. For real? Dude, you've been doing this for how long?
Yeah.
You know, so if you want to create your own system, again, that's the obligation part. So if you think you're being obligated to a system and you don't feel like you're growing, then maybe it's time for you to move, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, much of what you guys said, to me, it's when I did it, you have to, you know, the big picture I looked at, okay, creating my own system, you know, look at yourself and look at your own training. Is it going to suffer? Or can I incorporate my training with student? Do I have a group class format? Am I mostly privates in that? That's something I thought about since I don't have a group class anymore and I just are doing privates. Also, you know, it's not going to hurt, you know, you got to tap into the business aspect of it, depending on what you're charging and not charging. Is it self-employed? I mean, depending on the scheme and the gamut of like how big, I guess you are, brick and mortar, or you're kind of subletting part-time. Honesty, integrity, you know, being honest with yourself and what you're capable and good at doing, and not going into areas where maybe it's questionable, but you're doing it because you were asked. Like having the integrity to reference outsource. Say, hey, I'm not the guy, but I can reference you to somebody who's really good in this area. Here's his name. You know what I mean? To me, that's important too. And overall, you know, that you're still a student. You know what I mean? Maybe you're creating this clan or whatever you have, but don't forget that you're always still a student and being open-minded, open suggestions, commentary from your students, and you know way is way, and you know all that. So just a few things that I thought about before I went ahead and did this. You know, but another question. I think we're back to Errol. We got solid questions and answers from you guys from Darcy. Mad respect to Chili Pepper, Dean, and Errol. I'm off to cook dinner. Thanks again for hosting awesomeness. All right, here's the question. This is from Lewis. This question is, do you continue to learn on your own and then share it with your students in the context of your personal system?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. For myself, again, you know, I have other guys from their own systems and we still exchange and we still spar. And, you know, again, I'll use Sachi and Alex whenever we ever, you know, get together. Those are the two closest guys around here that I could really, truly, in actuality, trust. Because, you know, there's some guys who want to have so much machismo and ego where they just want to hurt the shit out of you just to prove something when, you know, you just want to learn. So for me to do that, yeah, I'll train with those guys. Also, I'll train with my kids. Seriously. Yep. Because they want to take their anger out on me. Yeah, my older son, he's 14, very athletic kid. And he's just like, well, you know, I said, nah, do me a favor. Just come at me. He's like, nah, you know, you're probably going to hit. I said, I have more control than you, but just come at me. And if he whacks me, I'm like, ooh, that was a good hit. my hands, my arm. I go, oh, wow. So I would actually just ask him, listen, come at me again, do the same thing, but I want to move a certain way. So attack me like this first, and then attack me aimlessly. And if he pegs me, then got to keep on going, you know.
Yeah.
But that's how I train. I don't know about anybody else, but there's just a lot of folks out there for me just to go, I really don't trust training with you. I don't know how, you know, you could be an asshole.
Yeah, preservation, like we get older, like, yeah, just to go train with somebody who has no control or just, and before you know, you're injured. I'm so sick of just days of injury, man. I'm just like Badger, same
my late 50s, right? Like I get out of bed injured. Like
I know, like, yeah, baby, here's something. I know, man. It's like
I slept wrong. How did I sleep wrong? Right?
Seriously. My neck.
Oh, my ankle. But yeah, I'm constantly learning. And I mean, I'm a really I have a voracious appetite for stuff on YouTube and Instagram and whatever. And I see this stuff and I'm just like, what the hell was that? I got to watch that again. And, you know, like, you know, we have Renee up for seminars and Kirby Kerbong all the time. We kind of touched on HEMA. I've got a good connection with some of the HEMA groups here in town. And it's kind of funny because they're very, you know, Errol's been talking about politics. They're very like, oh, you know, I do German, you do Italian. Oh, I hate you. Right? They can't sit at the same, you know, at the same table, sort of thing. Whereas they look at us and they're like, you spar hard, and you don't have any of those influences. We like you. So we're sort of like the neighborhood kid that nobody has a problem with.
okay.
And the HEMA guys have some great technique.
Yeah.
That the FMA guys, it's not there. It hasn't. I shouldn't say they don't have it. Maybe it hasn't manifested fully, or maybe these guys have brought it to a higher level of development, and so you get hit by it a couple times, like wham wham wham, you're like, son of a bitch, what was that? And you watch a video and you're like, oh, it's Abanico. Wait a minute, I know Abanico. How the fuck did you? And it's
the application,
in a different way, and they've got a different level of development. And it's like, okay, I'm going to learn from you.
They do. Like I did German longsword, and they have like Friday like motions, and they have that. I mean,
yeah, what they call the Zorkopter. So I was doing. So I'd have staff and a really talented exponent friend of mine, Callum, would be with longsword, and he'd go like whackety whackety whack. I just ring my bell 3 times.
Oh, that's funny.
Like, I got to learn that.
Yeah.
You know what I also do watch also is obviously back in the day, you know, if you had the video camera, everyone's cool, but like attacks that happened back in the day, like, you know, the big rumbles as they called it.
Yeah.
I like to watch it on YouTube because, again, this is where back then, you know, you can't videotape yourselves back then. Maybe they can if they had it, but I sure couldn't. Yeah. But I remember telling them in the seminars that there's ways of how people would come at you. Like there's, you know, one would cross the street while the other one is already on the same side of the street. Someone will back, someone will beeline, you know, and when I watch that, I go, oh, I remember that technique. I remember because that was what we used to do back then. And, you know, a lot of those things that I still watch. And I would tell my guys, watch this video right here. You see what happened right here? And they're like, oh, no, I mean, he got attacked. I said, no, watch how this guy comes out from this side and watch how this guy comes from this side. Again, I had one of my other guys about 7 years ago. For all this time, we kept on. Again, what I brought back from my teachers one thing is they taught us how to roll and fall a lot. The Japanese tradition, because they had a lot of karate background and aikido background. So what I would implement was rolls, falls, but at the same time deploy your weapon properly without cutting yourself, right? And then at the same time, I would tell them, hey, listen, when someone attacks you, never go around a corner and chase them, because what happens is there's more people waiting for you over there. How do I know that? Because I remember in detail, my older cousin said that to me. And I would practice this over and over again with my guys. And I would tell them, listen, if you ever beat the crap out of someone from an attack and they're running, do not chase them, because you don't know what's coming around that corner. And what I learned from it is, yes, do I watch the videos over and over again from, YouTube and all the, it's kind of sounds sadistic, but at the same time, this is what you're going to learn. You can't teach someone who's never been jumped before. So you tell them, hey, listen, watch this. And this is what I'm telling you right now, what's going to truly happen. So the learning portion of it, of course, I'm still learning. I have state troopers who tell me, hey, listen, this is what the attack is going to look like this close, especially with a firearms. And it blows my mind. I'm just like, holy shit. Wow. And it makes me feel like a new person again. Like, oh, God, this guy really schooled me. I thought I was good. Man, no, this guy really put me in place.
What a great, thank you for that gift, right?
Yeah, seriously. I'm just, when law enforcement comes to me to learn edge weapon and blunt, but yet at the same time, they're teaching me what happens in their world. And I'm just like, whoo, wow, mind blowing.
I think you gotta still be a student. Like when you create your own system, and and this is just my lens. I'm not saying people need to agree with me or they feel the same way. To me, it's almost an aspect of hypocrisy. And what I mean by that is, I got my own system now. I'm going to stop learning. I'm not going to try to improve this system. I'm not going to try to bring anything into it, improve status quo, or even improve your status quo. To me, there's an aspect of hypocrisy when you stop becoming a student, and almost, I think there's a death actually that starts there. And again, this is just my opinion, how I feel. I'm not saying people should agree with me. That's just my 2 cents on that.
No, it's on point, man. It's on point.
Absolutely. If we're humans are built to learn, and we're built to take in information until we die. So if you stop taking information in, I guess you're dead.
You're right. I don't understand.
Congrats your luck, buddy. You should be the last to know, right?
I mastered the system. I don't need to do anything else. And I see that in FMA, like with some of these bigger systems, modern Nissan, all that. And I'm like, you mean there's nothing out there that you want to learn or you could learn?
There's a originally Chinese system, Gochokun, and there was a line of descent, like this is the the grandmaster of the style, and it got to a certain individual who I believe has passed away recently, and they said, okay, you're going to be the next grandmaster. And he said, no, I'm not gonna accept that, thanks, because he felt that would limit his opportunity for growth. I'm now the grandmaster. I never thought of that. So I am now the guy who sets the boundaries on this style, and that's it. And and he just said, no, sorry, I'm not interested.
Yeah, I'm with you. So a couple more questions came in. Oh my goodness. This is absolutely going very well, this discussion. Okay. Since both of you have created your own systems, have you thought about its perpetuity or its legacy? In other words, and we'll tie Riches in here. Have you thought about its successor or a council to lead when you retire? So we can kind of fuse those two together. So first one from Tom is, have you thought about your system and the aspect of legacy? Riches is follow-up. Have you named a successor or create a council, if you will? Who wants to take a crack at that first?
I'll go for it. Go for it. Because I kind of touched on it before. I could get hit by a bus tomorrow. and I've got people who could carry things on, except for my amazing sense of style and humor. Things would carry on with
And
no
you, hey,
interruption.
and your music choices.
And my music choices, which dovetail very well with Dean's. Total coincidence. Anyway, but like I give freely. I don't hold anything back. I don't have secret techniques that you have to get to a certain. I mean, I give it.
No, you don't.
Well, I'm not going to fucking admit it.
Oh my God, Badger, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to need you to leave now.
You pay me, and I'll tell you about the secret techniques. The more you pay me, the more secret techniques I'll have. But yeah, so yeah, there's I have no doubt that if I died tomorrow, that there would be people to carry it on, and they could do it or they could not, as they wish. I have no successor. I have no counsel. I have individual people who for those of you, in the 20th century, there's these things called books. Anyway, so there's this term called grok. I have people who grok the method, and they'll just take it.
Nice. Errol, same question.
Yeah, in a sense, we do have a little counsel. We do.
Okay.
My group, I do discuss it with a couple of people in there.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my senior guys. So the guys who have been with me up to one of my guys with me for 10 years. The other one is about 15, and we discuss it. Successor, of course. Do I want my kids? They're my sons, of course I do. But maturity wise, are they ready? Right. So what's going to happen, as much as I do want my kids to take over, obviously my last name, Ballesteros Kali, you don't just give that to somebody just because they're your blood, right? You got to be sure that they're truly loving the system, honoring the system, willing to expand the system, not just the name of it, but willing to expand it. Be a student of the art, be a student of Kali, I have a few people in mind, seriously, because I've seen the hard work that they put in. And, I even asked my guys, listen, I'm going to put you guys on the spot, and you guys have to think about this. Nice. You don't have to tell me now, but one day when I ask you, I already know the answer if you guys are bullshitting me. Ask yourselves, are you here because I'm the only Filipino martial arts teacher around the area? Or are you here because you truly believe in my system? Keep that in mind, and I'm going to come back to you whenever I feel like it. And if you give me a bullshit answer, I already know.
Yeah.
I already know who's next in line.
Nice.
So we got a few more questions coming in. All right. Emma Page, always embrace the beginner's mindset. Yes. Lewis, when stop being a student, also stop their own training and conditioning. Yeah, I just think you just stop living as a martial artist. That's just my opinion, though. And I don't expect how you can still in your students if you're not even trained. That's just me, though. Let me see here. Okay, so all right, quick question here from Glenn. So Badger, do you video your students as part of the teaching process?
Well, that's a little creepy. Sorry, man. No, I don't. Okay. The only time I do stuff like that is I mentioned earlier, we'll do sparring in the park, and I'll set up a camera and we'll spar. And it was kind of like same with the genesis of the Dog Brothers. They videoed their stuff. They not because they're like, oh, we're going to form this organization and yada yada yada. But just like, what are we doing right and what are we doing wrong?
Okay.
And so I videoed that, and I put up some sparring clips on YouTube, which, you know, nobody watched because who would? But for us, it was important. It's like, oh, hey,
Yeah, I tell
so
these
I
video
got
themselves.
hit. I got hit in one of the gatherings. I got hit back here, the mastoid process, by Foxhound Matt Berry, and it rang my bell. Like I literally felt the shockwave go through my head left to right.
He's a
I know
pleasant
that feeling.
It's like, I'm just
I got hit right here.
right.
No mask.
Like, I just gotta stop for a second. And then
He's a pleasant fellow, huh? Matt Berry.
oh yeah, dude hits hard. Anyway, so and then I was at another event, and I got hit in the right mastoid. Like, I'm doing something wrong. But watching on video, it's like, oh, that's how I'm moving. Seeing that remote third-person viewpoint, impartial, cold, hard reality. Like, oh yeah, oh fuck. But no, in terms of general class, I don't
either. I do advocate they should be filling themselves, though. I mean, yeah, if they're out there doing whatever, I said, look, I highly recommend you do that so I can maybe help you, you know, and try to assess it and look at it and see where I can help you. But yeah. Errol, same question. Do you video your students?
Yeah. Not just for themselves, but for me.
Okay.
So if you see the little clips that I put out there, like the quick clips and everything, that's just for, you know, social media viewing pleasure. But on our members page, I'll post it and I say, hey, study this. This is just for learning purpose only. Do not post. It's only for members to see where you need to make yourselves better. That's also for myself.
Sure.
So for all the years that I've seen me teaching some stuff, actually, the best way of being a student is being a teacher, because you find yourselves doing some weird shit, man. You'll be like, yeah, I can move like this, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden you go, why the hell does my left leg look like it's dragging? You know, well, why did I move a certain way? Why am I not, you know, properly shooting in or passing the blade out of the way? Then I'll catch one of my students feeding it like, oh shit, he didn't hit me, you know? And that's where I look, I go, oh, that's why it made it look good, because he didn't go fluid, you know, with the fluid line all the way. I saw that nanosecond of pause to do that. So when you see that little nanosecond of this, you go, well, obviously that's why I got out of the way quicker, because he didn't go all the way. So these are, the videos definitely help, because that's where you tell your students, hey, listen, when you feed that, you know, go slow first until you start understanding, you know, your distance, your sensitivity, your timing. And then from there, just move, just do your technique. But yeah, I've seen some cringe-worthy videos for myself. I'm going, oh shit, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, I think we all got those that we wish we never watched, right, or witnessed.
But look, we learn from it.
Absolutely, you know? Yeah. I mean, right?
Why did I move like that?
Okay, we got another question, and like, man, the comments are just pounding in. So obviously, you guys are resonating with the audience. Okay, here's the question, Kurt. Do you believe that you have to have rank in another system to give you accreditation for creating your own system? Good question. I have my opinion, but what's your guys' opinion?
What is rank? Like,
so let's go. Okay.
No. Don't define it. So I've had teachers. It's like, you are black belt now. And I've had we're doing grading, so fill out your application. Rank is ephemeral. It's your instructor saying, yeah, I see you. Or the organization saying, yeah, you've ticked off these boxes. Rank means nothing. Like it's, and I don't mean nothing in dead to like, oh, fuck you. I don't care.
Yeah, no.
But it's, you know, that and $5 will get you coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah.
You know, it means nothing. The proof is in, does your system work? Does your system create the students that you want it to create? Is it accomplishing its goals? And I don't give a damn. I've learned from some really weird people who their creds are suspect at best. At the absolute most charitable, their credentials are suspect. But they could scrap and they could fight and they taught me stuff. At the end of the day, is your system producing the people that you want it to produce?
That you want to, your goals. Like, this is who I want to create. And so value system. So maybe value system trumps rank. Like, what is your value system and what you want the goals for what you want to create?
Yeah, if you know, I mean, if you're trying to legitimize it, like, you know, somebody says, well, who the hell are you to come up with a new system? Yeah, maybe in that sense. Well, you know, I've got such and such.
Well, I got such and such from But, so maybe for those naysayers who are questioning the authenticity of you even doing this, or I guess that would make sense. But back to the value system or the creative aspect, I think what you're saying is I kind of agree with that. Like, how is rank going to influence? What does rank matter from my creation that I want, or who I want my students to be?
I think it goes with whatever system you're in, to be honest with you, because I do believe in rank. Okay. But it's very hard for me to rank my guys. It takes a long fucking time in my class.
Yep.
In my system, it takes a long time because I always say, listen, I had guys who are fucking awesome at their technique. Technicians. They sucked at fighting. Yep. Guess what? They didn't get ranked. Yep. Then I had guys who were awesome at fucking fighting, but they couldn't pull off the technician, the technique. So to me is when it comes down to, I guess when they say legacy and all that stuff, your name, your system. Me personally, and I'm not going to say anybody else out there who has their system is their system, you know, by all means. My system is about, hey, you better be able to pull this fucking technique off and you better be able to fucking fight at the same time. Yeah. If you're an okay fighter, a better technician, let me see what it's about. But if I could attack you, now, I'm not even going to give my top ranked students to go against this other person, but if I could attack you and you hurt me with that, you know what? I want you to do this method by using this method. And if you could hurt me several times, by all means, yeah, you get that rank. And I'll put my body in harm's way just to see if the person is going to get a Lacan level. Lacan level to me, that's pretty damn freaking high. Guru level to me is pretty high, you know. Then if you could pull all that shit off, that's great. Again, some people don't like titles, but some people do like titles. And when my guys achieve a certain level, you know, again, I've had guys who really are just not good fighters, but I also had guys who are both. And if you could accomplish both, then that's awesome.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. You look at, so Mike Tyson, I mean, so his coach, Cus D'Amato, I mean, D'Amato was a good boxer, but he wasn't like a world champ. You know, it wasn't like
coaching,
but mindset.
He wasn't Tyson levels of dominating boxing. But
he was a fight scientist.
Yeah, but I mean, he was definitely a good boxer. Fuck yeah. And he obviously, because he could coach somebody with the raw talent like Tyson and coach them to world champion level. You know.
See, here's the thing, though. See, we're starting here. His question though opens up a kind of a gamut. In other words, okay, first of all, what's your metric system? How much value do you put in sparring from your students, and how much do you want from a technical approach? Then there's the aspect, well, what's your conception of rank to begin with?
Right.
You know what I mean? So this is kind of a juggernaut. I mean, there's an episode right there, rank and metric system.
Again, going back, some dude in raggedy shorts and old flip flops with a beat up old bolo in the deepest part of the Philippines.
I had no rank.
You get to tell him, oh, what's your rank, sir?
Yeah.
And right. He like,
who's got like what, 20 bodies? You know what I mean?
Yeah, how many? Well, it's how many death matches have you won?
Jeez.
And again, it's win loss. Like I won 4, but I lost 1. So
I know. So I don't. Hopefully that maybe partially answered your question, Kurt. That's a tough one, man.
It really depends.
More confused, right?
Yeah, I think it's
that's why I have a small group, man. That's why I have a small group.
Oh, well, here we kind of, all right, well, you've kind of already touched on this, Errol, and Tom's question is, how do you handle certifying instructors?
Just like that.
Yeah.
So how about you, Badger?
So I don't do, there's a lot of groups where it's, okay, we're all going to meet and there's going to be this council and they're going to review you doing the curriculum. And I don't have a problem with that. I'm not that. In certain, depending on how you set things up, that makes perfect sense. Right? Okay, these 5, 6, 10 guys, whatever, are going to all look at you and say like, yes. Like, hell, even for Dog Brothers, that's how it worked. Like, I went down to California. I fought. I was a candidate at the time, and they all, there was a group of guys who were at a certain level who said, yes, this person is at our level.
Huh.
So I don't have a problem with that kind of council of elders.
Yeah, right. If they're over,
the way I do it, and the way it works. So Guru Pete and I one day were training, and he says like, oh, let's do some single stick. Oh, let's do some double stick. Let's do some stick and dagger. Let's do some dagger. Let's do some empty hands. And then we stop, and he holds out his hand. And he says, congratulations. I said, thanks, Pete. For what? He says, you're now an Arnis black belt. Like, oh shit. Okay. All right. It was just him and me. So
that's great. Wow.
There's that level of this is a group of people who are at a certain skill level, certifying that this person is also at that skill level. And then there is the one-on-one, your instructor who's been mentoring you through a thing saying, yes, you are at the level that I want to see.
Yeah. No.
I'm of the latter. I do the latter. So.
Okay. This has been excellent.
Having a great time.
All right. Seminar. In other words, I got kind of all through the questions and the ones I had. My last question for each of you is, before I want to make some comments like how you guys should, for our seminars, and I'm going to try to lure you guys into another episode of you guys showing your material. Like Badger should be coming back on showing some of his staff. So if he could rustle up a training partner,
a body,
or even just anything that just moves. Matter of fact, you could dress up Bob, make him look real, whatever it takes. But I just think it's something you should look into. But
be fun.
Future goals for each of you personally and your system.
Errol, go first.
Learn how to dance,
Is that what
personal? No, I said I just want to learn how to dance again. No, I'm joking. Personal goals for the system is this, man. I just want to keep it true,
Okay.
Plain and simple. Just keep it real. No bullshit material. You like me? You don't. It's all good. I'm here for me and my family. Say that again.
There's another system waiting for you if you don't like me.
You can go over there. I don't care.
Go talk to Badger. Buddy, Blacker.
He'll just hit you with his damn staff.
Yeah, for me, it's just like I'm having a blast what I'm doing.
Hmm?
Like it's fun. It is an absolute joy to get out there and cross sticks and interact with people and do stuff. And
Yeah.
every once in a while, somebody new shows up, and you're like, "Do they get it? Oh, they do. Oh, this is awesome." You know.
Look, if I go to Badger seminar, I want to move like Badger. Hint, hint, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Move like Badger.
Put it on that. I could just
Certifications in Eskrima coming soon.
Oh, look, Renee's back.
Oh, he's back.
Oh,
Look at other stuff. Oh my
Look at other
God.
stuff.
So, okay, seminar. So here I'm going to make this offer to you guys while you're here, but I'm also going to make an announcement when I conclude the show.
Yeah.
I'm trying to so it's going pretty well. I did a couple. So what folks are doing is I'm bringing folks on and they're basically showing their material. Now, it could be anything. It could be a subset of set number 9 single stick. It could be, in other words, you can show wherever you want, but by the conclusion of the show, folks would get they would see what you offer and what you teach, depending whatever you want to show. They don't go as long. So you figure 45 minutes, because basically it's not really questions. It's basically you're going to show, maybe give some commentary of what you're showing. I put myself on a bottom, and it's kind of like show and tell with you guys. So if that's something you're interested in, please let me know. Okay.
That'd be fun. That'd be a blast.
Yeah. You'll have to get something for staff, though. You'll have to. Don't let day.
Oh, there goes. Yeah.
No.
Okay, should have set the camera up a little further.
All right, so I'm writing you guys down that you guys are going to do this. I got Badger and Errol for future episodes on demos. Okay. I will be in touch. I will not forget. All right. Seminars. So Badger, I think your staff stuff is phenomenal. Why are you not? So any future plans of you maybe going out there and showcasing it via seminars and all that? I think you hit a niche on what you're doing.
Nobody's asked me to.
Oh, so we got to take care of that. We got to fix that. We got to fix that issue.
Yeah, if somebody says, "Hey, man, we'd love to have you down here do staff seminar," I do it. Just nobody's thought to ask. So
all right, well, I got to work on that, because I think you should be out there doing. I love the stuff you're showing. I mean, I just think
the other thing I'm going to mention is so I do a training weekend, usually May and September, end of September. Friends of mine have a giant campground, and they don't mind a bunch of lunatics with live blades. Aces. So we're going to be doing that again in May. It's going to be our 20th anniversary. We're hoping to have some guests.
Newcomers.
Newcomers at least new to us.
You're going to let newbies come in?
Yeah, if you don't know which end of the stick is which, that might be a problem. But I mean,
I'll just bring the right
stick. There could be an issue
We'll make it work. But we're gonna have guest instructors. Instructors. I'm gonna make it a fun time.
So this is coming May.
Yep.
Now, will you have an announcement that could be shareable after the discussion and so forth?
I'll put it out there.
Okay. You might want to, though, because you get newcomers. Yep. People might be interested in seeing what you guys do, though. It sounds pretty interesting. I'll have to hit you up, though.
That's great.
We're gonna give you some stuff like that. Errol.
Yeah.
Seminars. We got something coming up New Year, right?
We are, yeah. We're gonna bring you down, or we go up there. Either which way.
I prefer to come down for the Filipino food and just the overall Filipino atmosphere, to be honest.
There we go. So we'll bring you down here.
I think it would be easier.
So we can shoot you the Jersey way.
Yes, I need exposure. So
I got you, man.
Yeah.
I've lived a very boring life, online chess, swinging weapons around, limited people that I speak to. So I want some exposure in New Jersey with the Filipino culture and the food. And so.
I got you, brother.
There you go.
That sounds like a sob story, huh?
Someone help me. I'm hungry.
And hopefully, maybe we'll get Tom to come up too.
Oh man, Tom will forever come up, man.
Yeah. All right, here. Oh, I missed this. Here, okay, just picking back off the question that we really didn't answer because of the complexity of it. Okay. So Kurt kind of wrote this. Yeah, nope, it's okay. It's a complicated question. Was ranked hot boxer, then gave him accreditation. Okay. The people in agencies that want the paper will seek those who with it. Yeah, I think that's fair. Absolutely. They want to make sure, because those who want to teach one day, they're going to want that paper. So I can understand that.
Yeah. Or somebody who wants, like, I want a black belt.
Yeah, right. Whether it's a belt or a certificate or instructorship, but yeah, I can definitely.
That's not a hit.
Here's the thing, guys, and I'll say this so everyone can hear it. So don't go cheap on your instructors, guys, for real. Because listen, there's a lot of people commenting, and I know there are a lot of people watching too. So don't go cheap on instructors. Don't think a class is $20. Our time. Listen, and I got on my guys about this too. I said, listen, I work a full-time job. My kids are busy as hell during the weekend, even on the weekends. Yep. And even if I'm having a little cocktail here and there on a Friday night, my ass is still up at 6 o'clock in the morning. And think about this, guys. Any instructor who's out there to teach you, show the respect and show up and give your 100 for real, because that fucking sucks when you go out there because this is what we love to do. And I was just called into work. No, you didn't, man.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Like Errol, how long have you been doing this? Like, how many decades have you been doing this?
FMA?
Yeah. 30, 40 years?
Around there. Because the first exposure I had was probably around like 7 or 9.
Yeah. So you're gonna, you're gonna come up and tell somebody with that wealth of experience, like,
Yeah, it's like a college degree.
Okay. Here's the thing. I started teaching like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So
like you're coming up to somebody with that level of experience and you're kind of like, yeah, I'm just not feeling it. Well,
that's why you make them pay.
Tough titty, go somewhere else.
Like that's why you make them pay to go to your classes.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if they don't show, hey, that's on them. They lost their money. Yep. But if you let them come in for free or like $20 here and there, that's not your time.
Yeah.
So this has been absolutely wonderful, you guys. This went better than I thought. I got a couple more that want to do it as far as those who create their own system, but I don't think they're going to.
That's your high five, brother.
I don't think they're going to knock it out of the park like you did, but I could be wrong. I shouldn't say that. But at any rate, with that being said,
got here. Come on.
Yeah, I think you guys did.
Right here, bro.
Oh yeah, I got this 6 head going on here.
You don't even say it. I got a 10 head.
But you guys did awesome. So I appreciate you guys taking your Friday evening and spending it here. I'm sure there's numerous other things you could have been doing. And so, but I am going to be in touch because I definitely think you guys should come back on and showcase some of your stuff.
That'd be fun.
You know what I mean? 45 minutes.
No,
Dad, you're
Thank
you. Dad, you're gonna have to get somebody who could just swing a staff while you just go to town.
Hey, well, Fred here doesn't know what end of a staff he is, but he's gonna block.
I got this guy off the highway, gave me $20, and he said
he's gonna candlestick that staff.
Oh, you go right and candlestick the fuck out of this. What's a candlestick, sir? Oh, sorry.
Oh shit.
But yeah,
I'm in Canada. The healthcare's free. It's okay.
Oh, so you can.
I'm an insurance salesman. It's not.
You can pay him some like $20, Badger.
Oh my god! You're like building a client base. Holy shit! That's awesome. Damn, man.
Yeah, I'm a salesman, man. Let me tell you.
That's sweet.
Yeah,
it's sweet. I love it.
Awesome. All right, guys. I will be in touch for that.
Yeah, definitely. Great. Hey, seriously, great question. Great. All the questions that were popping in.
Awesome
Great questions.
Absolutely, they were.
Thank you.
They were. But
Yeah.
all right, guys. Well, hey, we'll not to hear from you again. I will be in touch. And
Okay.
Badger, keep looking for my music post. Okay, I'm gonna keep.
Dude, if we met in high school, we would have been
Look,
besties.
my student Pat showed up. Pat, what's up? Thanks.
Oh, hey, I'm here.
High five.
But all right, guys. Hey, well, good talking to you. Appreciate it, and I will see you guys. If not, I don't see you. I will hopefully will be hearing from you guys upcoming episodes.
Sounds good, man.
All
Gentlemen,
right, you guys be good.
night.
Thanks,
Take
Errol.
care. Have a great weekend. I got you. All right, that concludes 443. That was good, man. That turned out better than I thought. So, who is coming up? Well, let's check it out. Got Joe Hunkar. We'll go over his book, some other neat things. Chris Nolly, I gotta reach out to him again. Everybody keeps mentioning his name, so we're finally see if that is going to be possible. Got a few other names: Jeff Berger, Rafi, a couple theme episodes, and of course, if you're watching this, the whole thing of you guys coming on, doing that to be like 45 minutes thereabouts. Showcase your system. You know what I mean? Show guys what you do. You know what I mean? You know, whether you have your own system or your partner system, it doesn't matter. You can come on 45 minutes or so, show and tell, explain what you're doing, demonstrate it. Who knows? You know, you could get students out of it and get exposure. So if that's of interest, just PM me. You know what I mean? I did make a post on it in the discussion. Of course, I didn't pin it, and I can't find the damn thing. And I just don't have time to go scrolling down through hundreds and hundreds of posts. However, though, if it's of an interest, just send me a message. All right. Thank you all those watched, commented, and submitted questions. And I will see you next time.